So our first presenter today is Karthik. 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 I knew that. I was testing to see if you did, right? Krishna, and he's the founder and CEO of OM Voyages, from high performance stress and to holistic success. Karthik is on a mission to bring mental clarity and metaphysical wellness to the most demanding industries, including aerospace. Learn how his work is helping future engineers and professionals unlock focus, resilience, and purpose through guided meditation and energy alignment. I have no idea what I just said, but he does. Karthik!
I sent a couple of pictures. They picked the one that was taken from the Schönbrunn Palace in Vienna, if you were wondering my profile. uh, Frank told me, I love Frank. I met him the last time I gave a 1 million come pitch, and he told me, make it a story. I'm not here to make a pitch. I'm just here to tell my story. So let's see how I do. There's a reason I called it the story of Krish Resurrection. By the way, Krish has two Ks, one of them in silent, but I called it because Krish Energy was my earlier startup. I was an XI cohort, and but then I had to abort that and then come up with Om Voyages now. Firstly, to those of you who don't know me, just a snapshot of my professional bios. About 2 decades in a lot of different industries, energy, manufacturing, education. That's me, with some German production machines in a manufacturing plant in Ohio, a bioenergy plant in Upper Peninsula, Michigan. Actually, I see Suzanne over here. She was with me when I was the director of startup brand Colorado Springs. You might recognize a mayor in there. But that was when I was teaching manufacturing at Colorado Technical Universities. So quite a few things. But this is my love in terms of my profession. I love hospitality. I worked in a lot of different hospitality settings, including at the Broadmoor. I've done the Fort Carson picture. I love that. I did some banquet events over there. Set up a Japanese restaurant in Black Hawk, Colorado, Aspen, and the one of the perks is you get to meet some of the finest people on this planet for free. My best memory this year was meeting the Denver superstar running back Reggie Rivers. He is one of the best change makers and motivational leader speakers I've ever actually witnessed. So, and he was so happy to give me my selfie and just made my day that day. Thanks to hospitality. I volunteer when I have time when it's feasible, but I totally commit to it when I actually am there. Some of the names you may, I mean, they may be familiar for you. Space Foundation, I've been there for over a decade. Cool Science. I had a STEM school, Highland Ranch, teaching an aerospace class to middle schoolers over there. So done that. Something Colorado Springs community instilled in me. And I put everything that I had in terms of my skill set, my experiences, my education, my connections into this company called Krish. And I mean, getting into the XI program over here was a super big deal for me. I was like, wow, people think that my idea is good. And I invested my own time, energy, resources in building something I called it the Peacock Pentagon scoring metric. It was a green audit and certification tool, and I was super excited about it. I had interns from the mechanical and aerospace engineering join my team, and that was me when I pitched Krish. Bob over here is there too. He's still on my advisory board. But this failed. It failed not big. I haven't heard anybody say that it was because the idea was bad, or even my intentions were bad. It was because I was basically questioning the climate agenda. I was offering a way to do environmental protection better than what the current method was, and that was nobody wanted to touch this. I had some of the top venture capitalists from Colorado Springs say, "No one's going to put a penny in your company if you're going to question the climate agenda." So I said, "You know what? I'm not desperate. I had an idea. I'm going to leave that over here and then just go on to my journey." I also, this quote from Henry Ford, who's one of my favorite inspirational American entrepreneurs. it stuck with me too. It says, when everything seems to be going against you, remember that a plane takes off against the wind, not with it. I stuck to my belief that I didn't have to sell out on the climate agenda and then just stick to my guns. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to go reboot my own system. And I call it metaphysical rebooting. This was a complete new phase of my life because I looked at, we all focus on physical wellness. We know what that is. For me, metaphysical was looking at how clean your energy is, how clean, your consciousness, your mental and emotional balance. So took off, traveled around the world. These are not just holiday pictures. I went far east, South India to some very sacred places. I took some amazing um, retreats in ecological havens in Europe and connected. And those are deeply transformative. I mean, the smiles are beautiful, but trust me, sometimes they were the most brutal workshops and experiences I had because it drove me to be more authentic. And that's not easy. I even showed up at the Pentagon. After that's actually a picture from the Pentagon Memorial. Bro, let's go have a cup of coffee or a beer sometime, and I'll tell you a whole story about that event. That was a fun thing. Um, but there you go. So this was me saying, okay, I just wanted to re-engineer myself. I'm not gonna care. I'm not gonna care what the results are. I'm just gonna do my best. And how can I engineer my own blissful lifestyle? And I started putting some structure to it. I believe you can actually create your metaphysical wellness with goals. Like you can create physical fitness, whether you want to be an athlete, whether you want to be a swimmer, whether you want to lose weight or whatever. You can actually create that, whether you want to direct it towards professional growth, whether you want to direct it towards personal relationships, or even just spiritual growth. And I came up with this and I wanted to do it in a religion agnostic way. That is very important for me. A lot of times when you talk about consciousness, spirituality, a lot of that space is taken up by religion. I think for the most part, good. I've been a student of diverse cultures and religions myself. And trust me, there's a lot of good in so many of these. And so don't throw the baby out with the bathwater just because there's one or two things you don't agree with. I remember Frank got a laugh when I said this last time I was here. For me, the difference between religion and spirituality, religion is for those that are afraid of going to hell. Spirituality is for those that have already been there. So I know he liked it, but anyway, I love that quote. I think there's a lot more depth, and I think they can coexist as well. Um, yeah, I know to the fact that no to the contrast between spirituality and religion. So that's a whole nother topic. So I put that into I registered Om Voyages. I live in Golden, so I registered that as a Golden startup. And I started designing some workshops, metaphysical wellness workshops. Did a demo in Denver over there. Then I got to, just 6 minutes. Oh, okay. So basically, whatever experiences that I went through, that's my story. I'm glad I got to spend more time on that. I just put this in a business wellness platform, and that's basically Om Voyages. Thank you for your time.